I love our very sacred and special bond. And, you know, I really had a very difficult time after the election, and I, I wanted it to be out of control. I wanted to see where things were going to fall, and even the, on this cover, this is water, and then I throw down salt on the water and the color, and a technique that I actually learned from my great teacher, Farley Crawford, one of my great teachers. And in seeing that make its own way, it actually helped me to free up my lyrics. And I started noticing that I needed less to do more. And that in that same way that with watercolors, if you throw too much, if you put too much on there, it becomes mud. And I think you as a songwriter understand, and everybody, Rachel, I'm going to learn about you as well, but and Ellen, and oh my goodness, okay.
And Hanna Tiferet Siegel, who's my my teacher, is here. Thank you for being here, my darling. Yeah, I'm going back to you, Julie, and then we'll come back to Hanna.
Yeah, so to see how I can kind of push, how much I can push a loose impression. And it changed my lyrics. I noticed that I needed less words to say more, less English words, and just less. And that's really what it taught me over the past few years as I painted voraciously. I can't even believe it. I can't believe I'm here doing it. I mean, I've been painting. These are, oh my goodness, the cats. But, it's just a whole thing. And so, Lisa, you've been a great inspiration to me, and for even just noticing my paintings at the biennial and suggesting to be part of this glorious collection, and just gorgeous of prayer, of real life words expressed with such beauty. I love it. I love it. I had no idea, and yet it's you. You're a beautiful shining star of expression. So that's my words.
Thank you, Julie. Amazing. I didn't realize when I had wrote the poems, although I looked through all of the pieces that you had done, I didn't realize how quickly everything would sort of pop in where they belonged, and especially the cover, because I looked at probably 300 pieces before this one just said, oh, that's the cover. And actually, I wanted to introduce Ellen Collins for a moment, because she's really my inspiration for the book. Ellen is a wonderful poet, and Ellen did a book of poetry with illustrations, with tile work. And so Ellen is my editor, and she took all the poems I gave her and weaned them down. So Ellen, can you just say a welcome and a few words to everybody? I'm pretty sure we're live on Facebook, but I am not positive, but it doesn't matter. I'm recording this and I will put it up as soon as we're done. So it looks like something may have gone terribly wrong, but you know what? Hold on. Let me just go one more time. Yeah, now we're going to go live. So Julie, I may have you, here we go. Okay. Ellen is my editor. Ellen took a couple hundred of my poems and gleaned them down, and it sort of was the inspiration for me to use some artwork in my book. And so Ellen, say a couple of words.
Okay, so my couple of words are, it was just kind of a serendipity thing where another woman I had worked with, another poet who I had worked with as an editor, and she and her partner, knew Lisa, and I get an email and says, here is this poet, as Rabbi, you might want to work with. She wants to do something with her poems, and our first meeting was in a Panera. Remember that?
Yes, I
Was in a
do.
Panera in Rehoboth, and I've just really enjoyed working with Lisa and going back and forth with the poems. And you want to change this line, you want to do this, you want to do that, and she'd come back and say no or yes, or and it was just really a joy to work with Lisa these months, and I'm amazed at how quickly the book came together. And I love Julie's illustrations, and I am also a watercolor painter. And I was glad that Julie, that you mentioned about the salt, because I'd forgotten about salt, and I've been painting a lot of birds lately. And tomorrow my bird is going to have salt, and we'll see what happens. So it's been a wonderful project. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ellen. You've been a blessing for me, and the only reason I was able to get this book finished is because of the pandemic, really. And I still have no idea whether we're on the live stream or not, because it keeps saying preparing, but you know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
And
If
I
it's
need
not
to I need to
working.
leave.
Okay,
need to
Ellen,
leave.
thank you so much.
But I
Thanks
can
again. Be
just a few
well.
minutes.
Take care. Bye-bye. I'm going to come back to you, Julie, in just a second. Hanna Tiferet Siegel is my teacher. She also provided one of the long inside blurbs for the book, and this is the blurb that we used on Amazon. So, Hanna, I know that you you got stung by a wasp yesterday, so I'm so sorry. And you can't speak. Can you speak? Okay. Just say hi to everybody, and maybe you and Julie and Rachel can greet one another.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to be on. I was all swollen up, but I am. Here I am. And didn't want to miss it because I'm very, very proud of Lisa. She's such an inspiration, so prolific in so many different ways, musically, and now to have her poetry in print and illustrated in such an amazing way. And so I feel inspired. Like many of us create, and we have dreams, and those dreams kind of sit in boxes or on shelves. And Lisa's a manifester. Like, she's able to put it out there. She's able to produce her music, and now her book of her soul's poetry. And I feel deeply inspired and honoring of you, Lisa, for your being able to share the love in your heart that's just pouring forth. So thank you.
Thank you. You were a big inspiration for me, Hanna, Rabbi, my Rebbe, for a lot of the poems, and because you were my mashpia, my spiritual guide, and in the work that we did, I was able to unlock the shefa, the energy of Miriam's waters, and they're still flowing. And so thank you for everything. You've been such a blessing for me, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Rachel Kann, you are incredible, and if anybody who's watching this doesn't know her, you have to go #1 on the website and then on YouTube to see a lot of her spoken word. Rachel and I met at Aleph Kala, and I was so impressed by you, and I still am, and I watch your videos, and you are incredible, and you're an incredible poet, and I love your work. So as soon as I knew the book was coming out and I needed a couple of people to read it, and really, I asked Rachel to do it, and she was just, yes, of course I will, but I need a deadline. So here she is, my friend. Rachel, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. And Mazel Tov, congratulations on your new book. It's so beautiful. It's such a gift. And I also, Julie, your art too, to just see the synergy of the words and the visions come together. It's so beautiful. There's just so much heart in this book, and there's such a willingness to share your intimate experience, Lisa, with loss, knowing that there's a medicine in it for others who might be experiencing the same thing. And then because you're so good at creating prayer, you don't just leave us on the operating table, right? With the open feeling of the realness of it. You also help us integrate. So like a good spiritual surgeon, you use your prayer threads to sew us up, and so we can be that heart of light and be safe, all in one journey of a poetry collection. It's really so beautiful, and I just want to congratulate you. What a special day to celebrate with you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's I don't know why I decided on today, but I really felt compelled to get the book done because who knows about tomorrow. Julie, your daughter's friend died suddenly. We all have these devastations that are happening. Everyone's dropping like flies. It's who knows, and I felt just an urgency to get the book. There were people who said, "Oh, maybe it's not finished yet." You could, of course, now that I'm reading it, I could say, "Oh, I could change that word," or I change it. But you know what? It's here and it's beautiful. And this is a piece that Julie did. Okay, it's called Fish Face. And I love this piece so much because it goes with a poem that's called Aging Gracefully. And I wanted to read this poem sort of to wrap things up. And then I'm going to let Julie have the last word after this. So this is Aging Gracefully. I felt beautiful my whole life. I guess it's from my mother telling me so. The first boy who kissed me said I was lovely. He must have known. When I fell in Jerusalem and cut my forehead, the nurse speaking Hebrew said, "Hi nora yafa." I knew that meant she's quite beautiful. And even though I was in pain bleeding, I smiled. My husband tells me every day, and my daughter too, and here I am moving into old age feeling not that way at all. Every crack and line and indentation, every sag in my neck and bulge in my body comes laughing back at me from the mirror. All that's happened in my life is now piled on me like a layer cake of mud. All of the injustices, indulgences, and sorrows, the griefs and disappointments, obscuring the person I am. It may be time to peel back and reveal the new version of the old version of me. On the inside, slightly worn. On the outside, wisdom earned, inside out. An exchange of beauty. Age will do that, I suppose, something I'm trying to avoid. Seeing the younger, beautiful women, I think someday you'll know. It's what's on the inside that keeps you sane when everything on the outside goes. And here's the illustration. So I love this, and lights are great and Zoom is great. They hide so much. I put on a lot of makeup today and did my hair, yay. But those are my true feelings about growing older, aging gracefully. So that's my prayer for all of us, my darlings, that we do that.
I love the way you delivered that. I think that's another, and which is also another great layer to this book is, I hope that there will be a way for you to be able to share them with your voice because you deliver them beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You really are. It's first of all, Rabbi, I have to tell you, Rabbi Hanna Tiferet Siegel, I am a huge fan, to say the least. I take your songs around with me.
Mm-hmm.
I have.
The first time I heard your Michamocha, Julie sang it.
I've taken it everywhere, and I just love it so much. And it's antiphonal. It called to me, and I always felt that your. See what you did, Lisa? I always felt that your treatment of the text, I could imagine myself on the water, on the edge of the water, with the past coming at me. But that 3/4, that moving, that undulation, that I see what you're doing. But
It's
it moves
beautiful.
me, and I'm in a particularly raw state right now, but it's so good. It's so good, and I'm so grateful. And back to you, Lisa. And so those words ring true, because I can procrastinate, and I'm an artist too, but you don't. And it's such an inspiring and sharing way. It's not for some commercial or popularity or needing to
No.
be exposed. It's the gift of this, and the urgency is about the gift. I don't want another minute to go by without somebody, without saying I
In
love you.
in yoga, we call it dharma. It's just the way I'm built. It's my dharma. It's sort of the way I walk through the world. I've never been able to control it. I wouldn't say it controls me. I just had to birth this book, and I did. And all of you have been my inspiration in that. Rachel, you have a number of beautiful books. And I looked at them, and I looked at the work that everyone in this Zoom room is doing, and that's what inspires me. So my prayer for all of us is that we use our dharma and our karma to bring healing to the world in whatever way that we find that is meaningful, because we can certainly use it. Yeah. So thank you, my beautiful women, for being here, and I love you,
Congratulations.
and I love you, and I hope everyone goes and gets their copy of Heart of Light with artwork by Julie
for
Silver.
friends too. 1 for you and 10 for friends.
1 for you and 10 for friends.
Happy birthday, Lisa. Happy birthing day.
Thank you. Starting my 7th decade around the sun.
Wow.
7th decade.
Wow.
Well, I'm not. I'm 61. Yes, I am 61. So it's the beginning of my 7th decade. Yay. Is that right? Or my 6th decade?
No, 7.
7th. Wow.
Your first decade.
10 years is a lot. Decades are long. And if we'll be over this pandemic by the time this decade is over. God willing, the end of the.
So far, 2020 has been a remarkably long decade.
It really has been.
You said it.
Love you. Everyone has to stay safe.
Yeah, please.
Thanks again.
So lucky and grateful to be with this beautiful gathering of humans, Lisa. Thank you. What an honor. Amazing.
It is beautiful. I'm so grateful. It's made my birthday very, very special. I will never forget this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.